So we're going to do a quick server ping test, to see if Mawkzy's got green ping. I think he can get green ping. He can. Good. Alright, I'll type something in case they're confused about whether or not this is a match. Game 1, Mawkzy versus Kv1. If I'm not mistaken, these two have played 2 times. Maybe Fear can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they've played more than that. I know that they played at least one show match that I can remember. Great bump by Kv1 there. Mawkzy looked like he might have been through for the little ceiling pinch double tap on the counter attack. Something very difficult to execute. And the most notable match that these two have played was actually in France. They played on a LAN. It was a very small Rocket League LAN, but the competition was world class. Kv1 and Mawkzy were the winners of their own region's qualifiers, and they made it all the way to the grand final to play against each other in Paris, Mawkzy's home country. The Kv1 was able to take him down 3-0. The Kv1 has Mawkzy's number historically. Right now, however, I would say Mawkzy is the favourite. He's looked very impressive in recent performances. You know, he's won his most recent match against both TRK and Rawas, although before that he did lose, I think, 2 in a row to both of them. So I'm not sure I would jump to the conclusion of Mawkzy being better than TRK or Rawas. It is worth noting, however, he does have his their most recent match win against them both, as well as going completely 50-50 in games with Daniel the last time that they played. He's most notably perhaps lost twice to Zen, however. Now, was that a lag spike by Mawkzy, or did he just give up knowing that Kv1 was going to score a kickoff goal? I think he might have just given up on that one. I'm not sure. Looked like there might have been a chance to make it back to the ball. But whenever they've played in the past, Kv1 has just given Mawkzy a bit of a hard time with his aggression. Kind of dominated in the pressure department. He's had more shots, he's had more possession, and generally gets the ball off kickoff and scores, or puts his opponent in a very tough position early on. Now, I don't think any player in the world these days can dominate in the kickoff as much as Kv1 has historically. If we go back about a year ago, he really was known for having one of the absolute best kickoffs in the game. These days, I don't think that's going to be a particularly strong advantage for him. Only time will tell. Fireball154, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the 6-month prime as well. Hope you're doing well. He says go Kv1. He's rooting for his countrymen there. Not a bad start for Kv1, but Mawkzy's definitely had his number so far. Nice little fake there by Kv1 though. Mawkzy gives him a bit of space, in fact a lot of space, and Kv1 flicks it right past him. Full shadow there by Mawkzy. He's trying to mix things up. He's dived in for a couple challenges already this game, but that wasn't even a fake challenge by Mawkzy there. He just went full shadow defense. He backed off in vision the entire way to his back wall, and Kv1 could see him the entire time. Mawkzy trying to close the distance. Not going to work. He wanted a bit more of the ball there, but Kv1 goes straight through him. Failed wave dash by Mawkzy, sorry, as he landed after the kickoff there. Now Kv1 is in front. Kv1 trying to prove to everybody that he's still a top 10 ones player in the world. I think that's what winning this match would do. Would put himself right back into that conversation. It's more contested than ever these days, the top 10 1v1 list. I'll probably forget someone, but off the top of my head, you've obviously got Zen and Vatira and Mawkzy from France. You've got apparently Jack. You've got First Killer, Daniel. You've also got Yan, TRK, Rawas, and then you've even got players like Naupo, you know, on the cusp of getting in there. Oh, it's a great goal by Kv1. Mawkzy did not think he had a shooting angle here. Kv1 just lifts it up and over him, and that is a really good shot. Chips it up and then darts onto the back wall for the dish shot. 6-3. Not sure how many names I actually said there, but I didn't even say names like Joria's. It kind of shows you how stacked 1v1 is right now. Didn't even say names like Chronic, AJ. You could definitely give all those players a shout if you wanted to. Great little passage of play here for Kv1. Started off the slower of the two players, but now he is completely in control, and he's doing what he tends to do whenever he's played Mawkzy in the past, and that's just have a bit more of an efficient midfield game. He just creates more chances. He's such a clinical player that You know, he rarely gives away goals by overextending. In fact, neither of these players really give away goals by overextending. They're not known for their all-in aerial plays. They're known for their consistent ground game. Mawkzy trying to bump on Kv1 there. Kv1 too quick. Escapes the wrath of the Frenchman. Still a long way to go in game one. Mawkzy still composed. Kv1. Chance stay 50-50 in reverse. Gets destroyed. And scored on again. This is a very, very risky half-flip challenge from Kv1. Now, if you half-flip on a challenge like this, you really do have to nail the challenge. You have to get the ball dead center. It's such a risk because your car is now facing away from your goal. Any bad 50-50 and you're out of the game. Now, this is going to be a familiar sight for lots of people. Kv1 scoring kickoff goals. He's just so efficient with his kickoff. He's pushing it around the outside of Mawkzy there. Mawkzy's paying attention. He'll just be dead on goal side now. And he'll want to flip to the left to counter what Kv1 just did. That's not what Mawkzy's doing though. He'd just rather take more of a soft win. Doesn't go for the big direct kickoff goal, rather the possession in the back corner. Against such a safe defender as Kv1, is this really the way to go? Does Mawkzy have enough time to build a comeback here? No, he'll probably think that he does. Kv1's just all over him though. Great timing on the turn. Mawkzy had no idea it was coming. The shot too quick for Mawkzy to react to after respawning. Kv1 ahead by 4 again. Dark Axe, thanks to the 2-month Prime. Welcome back to the channel. Ayers, thanks to the Prime as well. MVHQ Med, thanks to the 2-month Tier 1 as well. Appreciate you and everyone else tuning in right now. Very safe play here from Kv1, staying away from any potential demos. And he even lands on himself. No boost left. But he snipes Mawkzy. He was looking to squeeze the ball in at the near post. Mawkzy just can't read Kv1's timing. This is such a textbook Kv1 game so far. If you've watched this guy in the past, you'll be very familiar with what we're seeing right now. Just so many shots, so many goals, so many kickoff possession plays, and a forfeit from Mawkzy just 3 minutes and 32 seconds into the game. That is ridiculous. I mean, Kv1 is just one of the most efficient players in the modern ones game. Not many players create more chances than him as quickly as he does. Yeah, I should probably mention we do have Kv1 versus Zen planned for this Friday. Kv1, while he's in Los Angeles, while he's in the US prepping for the Winter Major, presents a unique opportunity. Something that we're not used to seeing with Kv1 in one's show matches is Kv1 in green ping. He's usually, throughout his entire one's career, played with around about 130, sometimes 140 ping, playing from Brazil on the US East server. And the simple fact that he's been able to compete with that ridiculously bad connection for so many years should tell you he is a world-class talent. It's truly unplayable for most of us. To think about playing against top tier 1's players with 140 ping, I mean, it's one of those things you've got to go and try it out yourself. Just queue up on a different server with a friend, go make a private match on a different server, see if you can find one that's 140 ping for you, and you'll see just how difficult it is to play to your best ability with that massive handicap. Yeah, I'll see if I can get... I'd love to get as many Kv1 games as we can, because he's one of the best players, probably the best player in the world, who has the smallest list of low ping games. And whenever he has played on low ping, he's looked brilliant. Looked like a very, very competitive player against the best in the world. Definitely top 10 the last time that he was active, around about the World Championship last season. I was hosting a lot of 1v1 show matches. Kv1 was able to beat Jack in the best of one that they played on the World's stage. Halftime show on the final day. Or was it the final day or was it Friday? I've totally forgotten. You guys in chat look like you've confirmed that they played 3 times in the past. Did Kv1 win all 3 of them, or did Mawkzy win one of them? I know you guys have been talking about it, but I missed it. No, remember everyone left in the final day? Yeah, oh wait, it was the end of Friday. It was the end of Friday. It wasn't a halftime show. It was initially talked about as a halftime show, potentially. But yeah, it was actually at the end of the Friday. Not a very fair indication of how popular 1v1 is. I mean, when it doesn't matter how many times you tell people in the venue, oh, there's going to be more action at the end of the day, still people are just going to here. Oh, what's happened there? The last game of the day? Okay, we're out. I personally think a dedicated 1v on LAN would do very well. I don't know if that's a hot take. Probably not a hot take in my channel, but in the Rocket League esports world, a lot of people for the longest time, and I think still, think that Rocket League 1v1 on LAN would not be as exciting as it would be online. If you want a recent discussion, or wanting to listen to a recent discussion I had about that topic with Rise from Oxygen Esports, formerly of Moist Esports, you can tune into one of T-Bait's recent Rocket League videos, where I think I can't remember what he titled it, but it should be pretty obvious. Some T-Bait's video featuring Rise on his YouTube channel. I joined in about maybe 30 minutes before the end of that to talk about the potential of 1v1 on LAN. Rise doesn't think it would be that exciting. I think his main reason was that he thinks players would hold back and they wouldn't take the risks and make the big plays that they make online. I disagree. I think that there's players who will absolutely do that. Players like Zen, players like Daniel, players like Jorias. I don't think it matters if you're on a LAN. They're still going to go for their big solo plays. I mean, you ask me, you ask anyone, do you think Zen is confident that he can triple reset on LAN in 1v1? I think they're all going to say yes. But yeah, that's just my opinion. We're all speculating, of course. I reckon it would be just a highlight reel on LAN. I really do. If watching 3v3 on LAN for years has taught me anything, is that defenders do panic more on LAN than they do online, and that actually makes it more viable to, you know, do things like mind games, big mechanical plays. It's why players like Joyo, Yan, Seiko were so successful last season in RLCS, because it's very difficult to read what they're up to when they're in the air. And I think that they were all better on LAN than they were online because of that fact. Oh, wow, what a flick by Kv1. Mawkzy did not expect that to be a threatened shot. Kv1 quickly turning here, looking to capitalize on Mawkzy's close to the ball position. Fake challenge by Mawkzy. Hides behind the ball afterwards. Kv1 backs off to midfield. Kv1 looks menacing right now. Mawkzy being very careful here. Not to concede again. He has to respect the shot on target there. That's going to mean he has to say goodbye to his boost in the back corner. Look at what Kv1 is doing here. He's just popping the ball into positions that Mawkzy has to think about. Putting the ball in areas where Mawkzy has to consider the possibility of a shot coming towards him. And that's limiting Mawkzy's ability to grab back corner boost. Well, keeping pressure on the ball. Oh, he might have own goaled here. It's bounced off the bar from Kv1's shot and hit Mawkzy straight on top of the head. Now, I think if Mawkzy's just inside the goal line here, he saves this. Yeah, he does, but he's on the outside of the goal line there, and it hits the right side of his car, goes into his own net. Definitely a forced mistake there from Kv1. Or, well, obviously mistake from Mawkzy by Kv1, but he could have been inside the goal line there. It's one of the reasons why you don't really want to sit outside of the goal line in positions like that, as Kv1 snipes another shot. Perfect placement. Sufficient power. It's nothing too crazy, but look at what he's able to do with just a little air roll and a small run up. Mawkzy completely underestimates him once again. Mawkzy pre-flip bump attempt. Secures the back corner boost, that's huge. Actually will score on the counter after bumping Kv1 out of position. Great boost grab here by Mawkzy. Kv1 thought Mawkzy was missing that one. You can see at the very last second, Mawkzy was able to steer and clip that with the edge of his hitbox before Kv1 could grab it. Big focus today from Mawkzy. Wave dash recovery kickoffs. He wants possession. Kv1 trying to force goals immediately. It's a dangerous position for Mawkzy. Kv1 again threatening, forces him to back down. Mawkzy awkwardly lands backwards. Kv1 chases him out of position, but Mawkzy's right back into position to equalize with 20 seconds left. Evasion from Mawkzy was the key here. Look at that, just as soon as he lands, he drives away from the ball briefly, knowing that the bump was coming. Another comeback in game 2 from Mawkzy, but it's really been Kv1 who's had the control for the majority of this game. He's had the lead or possession, and he does it again. Just like that, Kv1's confidence puts him ahead by 1. Mawkzy wanted the dribble with the clock approaching 10 seconds remaining. Kv1 read him completely there, just charged in. Now Mawkzy with the delayed kickoff. He should probably just shoot this one first time, but instead he goes for the flick. Will this work out? No, it won't. Kv1 parks in the way of him. Again, reading Mawkzy very well here. Just knowing that Mawkzy badly wants a flick at the end of the game. It's not going to happen. 2 games in a row for Kv1. What a performance so far. Kv1, final boss he's written in his name. I mean, the confidence you need to write something like that in your name and then perform. Really, he has looked like Mawkzy's final boss right now. Such a great style against Mawkzy, who really badly, you can see at the end of this game, he wanted to accelerate with the ball on top of his car. It's the setup for every Mawkzy big flick. When he gets the ball on top of his car, he tries to accelerate before ripping the flick on target. He doesn't want to just flick at low speed. You know, going a bit faster with that reverse 45-degree flick technique does give you more power on the flick. So Kv1 read that. You can see just by the position that Mawkzy was putting the ball on top of his car that he didn't want to flick it early. And if you're trying to spot that in your own games, what you need to look out for is where is the ball on top of your opponent's car. If they're ball carrying, is the ball on the front end of their car? Is the ball on the back of their car? If it's on the front end of their car, they're probably looking to build up speed and set up for a flick. If it's on the back end of the car, they might be looking to approach more slowly and pop the ball up for an air dribble bump. Kv1 fakes a challenge at close range. He's only got 5 boosts left. Mawkzy doesn't really have a lot in the follow-up either. Just like that, Kv1 is away once again. Perfect timing. Mawkzy trying to hide behind the ball while he approaches the challenge here, but it's just not happening. Kv1 has just got a better read on him today. Notice how he's putting in these little side-to-side movements in his approach for the shot. The reason Kv1 wants to do that is so he can see where Mawkzy is. He can see exactly where Mawkzy is putting his car. Mawkzy tries the pre-flip shot, misses. Kv1 dodged a demo beforehand. Mawkzy was definitely interested in. It's not a bad flick there for Mawkzy, but Kv1 runs away with the ball again. Bring up the scoreboard real quick. Yeah, there it is. So we got 72 ping versus 96, both green. Definitely a small advantage for Kv1, but compared to some of the other ping advantages we've had in the stream recently, this one is minuscule. Oh, it's maybe an own goal. It is an own goal by Kv1. Mawkzy kind of forces this one by shooting early. He just popped it towards that far post, and the already flipping Kv1 couldn't really do anything but hit that into the bottom corner of his own net. Yeah, there's lots of players I'd love to see Kv1 playing against while he's in US West, just to name a few. You know, apparently Jack, who's pretty busy the next couple of days, maybe closer to the major, will be able to make that happen. It's always been a very interesting match whenever they've played in the past. You know, Daniel and FirstKiller right now are in great form. It would be wonderful to see them playing against Kv1. Maybe once. I can't remember when FirstKiller is going to be in LA. But what we could try and do, if we have any US East players, like Daniel or FirstKiller, or even a central player like Jack against Kv1, yeah, what we could do, don't know when they're all going to LA, but what we could do is try and, you know, keep queuing up servers until we get a central server, because as some of you might know, there are central servers in Rocket League, US central servers. There just isn't a playlist for them. I think you can get the central servers, or at least some of the central servers, in US East queue, and you can get other ones in US West queue, or maybe it's just you can get all the central servers in both queues. I'm not 100% sure. Nice save attempt there by Kv1. Does not prove fruitful though, as Mawkzy goes up by 3. The central servers are for tournaments. I don't think so. I think well, I mean, if you mean for RLCS, yeah, I think they do have some dedicated servers for RLCS, but there have to be central servers in the US East playlist. The reason I know that is because whenever I queue up in US East, I can get anything from 80 to 120 ping, and you're not going to get a 40 ping range on USE servers. You just aren't. Like, it's not. I don't think it's possible. So you need to be hitting a central server for that to happen. Unsuccessful mind game there by Kv1, who's looking to get Mawkzy to jump. Mawkzy calmly waits on the ground. But yeah, he just has to bail out of that attack. Really nice chip there though by Mawkzy to deny the counter. Oh, he's actually allowed the counter attack after doing so well. So yeah, Mawkzy didn't get his intended shot to work there. Might have been trying to squash the ball between himself and the backboard with a flip reset to score, but went a bit above him, so he just chipped it. And then he overextended anyway. You live in Texas, you get 20 to 60 ping on US East and 40 to 80-ish on US West. Yeah, that makes sense, because the times you're getting 20 ping from Texas, you must be actually in a central server. And when you're getting 40, 60, you're in an East server, of course. But yeah, we could try and snipe a central server for some East versus West matches. Oh, Kv1 finally gets some mind game to work on Mawkzy. He's tried a few of them, but that one was massive. I mean, Mawkzy was nowhere near. Very convincing though by Kv1. Subtle air roll to really get Mawkzy thinking about the flick. Still though, best game that we've seen from Mawkzy. He started well in game 1, and then it was all Kv1 who completely took over. Game 2 was all Kv1 with Mawkzy coming back every now and then. And now it's been Mawkzy's game, and what a slow roll that is. Kv1 is in the box for this. But he doesn't want to own goal. He just waited for Mawkzy to eventually put it in. So cringe. Why is it cringe to knock a few seconds off the clock? That's just a smart play. Ask yourself this. Who needs more time in this game? The player who's winning or the player who's losing? Who needs more time? It's the player who's losing who needs more time. If you're down by 3 goals with 3 minutes left, that's obviously a lot easier to come back than if you're down 3 goals with 3 seconds left. And every second that you knock off the clock while you're winning it's a good move, objectively a good move. But even more than that, and I think the real reason players do it is because you're forcing your opponent to do something that they don't want to do, and that's own goal. No one wants to own goal in Rocket League, especially not pro players. If you put the ball on their goal line and they're losing, then actually the best play for them is sometimes to just own goal, just to get it over with. So it's a bit of a mental win to do that. If you think that getting a mental victory over your opponent and taking away the time that they need more than you is cringe, then you're probably the real cringe in the situation yourself. Kv1 keeping the pressure on. He's got the lead back to 1 goal. Kv1, much like Vatira recently in his show matches on my channel, he's turning early whenever he can. Even if there's not really much on, he'll still turn just to hit the ball somewhere, just to influence the play in some way. It gets him in trouble sometimes. Good example right here. But it's just the way that he'd rather play. Kv1 doesn't like to play on the back foot. He likes to just go for challenges if there's half a chance. He likes to turn and make awkward touches on the ball just to annoy his teammate, or not his teammate, sorry, his opponent. Break up their attacking momentum. Just mess with their rhythm. So, you know, some players seem to get better with the more touches they can get in a row. You know, if you give a player like Zen space to hit the ball 10 times, then he's just going to gain confidence with every touch, and eventually it's in the back of your net. But if you can break up the momentum of those attacking plays by just awkwardly hitting the ball upwards, hitting it to the side, you're mostly going to see this after kickoffs, of course, this concept of just hitting the ball because it ruins the opponent's rhythm. Yeah, you might as well. That's what Kv1's been doing well today. Mawkzy does get 1 on the board. Long way back, but that's the start. We are in a best of 5, remember, so Mawkzy needs to remain perfect if he is going to come back and win this one. If I'm not mistaken, actually I'm not sure. Yeah, probably some of you haven't already seen. I was going to say what Zen's win streak's at, but then I remembered that I'm probably spoiling matches for some of you if I do. So I'll just not continue that sentence. As with all, you know, as with all of my show matches, you're probably going to see spoilers if you look at the comment section, if you look at the chat on the right side of the screen. So avert your eyes if you want to remain spoiler free. Spoiling live sports. So, you know, I try my best. I try my best not to spoil anything. But it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard when you're live streaming. But yeah, he's not playing right now, so I'll just leave it at that. Spoil. Just go and look it up. You can find it. You can find it yourself. I'm sure you can find it on Wikipedia. If you want to spoil it, you can spoil it for yourself. Yeah, anyone on Twitch just expects spoilers. Anyone on Twitter should expect spoilers as well. Anyone on any, you know, forum or live streaming service, you have to expect spoilers. But yeah, video consumers, I can see how they might hope to remain unspoiled. Now look at this from Kv1. It's so simple, but it works even at a world-class level. And you could try this at home. Just drive into the ball. Just drive into the ball. He shows Mawkzy that he's turning, but then he just reverses. It's almost like a blatant fake challenge. Just turns in plain sight and then reverses into the ball. The classic fake challenge, reverse challenge combination. It's a really, really good way to confuse your opponent. Great boost timing there from Mawkzy. Nice save as well as he softly pinches it off his own crossbar. Kv1 with phenomenal control. Spaces the next shot perfectly. And this is a lot harder than it looks. A little touch there. Puts Mawkzy in a real bind because Mawkzy's too far away from the ball to lunge. He tried to lunge and you saw what happened there. But Kv1 is about to rip the shot in the top shelf, so I mean, what do? You're doomed if you do go, doomed if you don't. Immaculate first touch by Kv1. Oh, looks like he's caught Mawkzy grabbing small boost pads as well. R says Mawkzy, I'm not sure what that means. My ping. Hold on. Let me just pause it here. Oops, I'm shouting. Yeah, it looks like his ping's gone up to 116. He says his internet is lagging. He got a DC. Oh, okay, he says let's play, it's fine. Let's just unpause and see what happens. He's down by 2 here. I don't think Mawkzy's trying to claim that he conceded because of lag, by the way. I think he just did lag out. Yeah, it looks like it's fine now. As you can see, it's back to 96. Give Mawkzy a goal. No, that's obviously not what he's claiming here. He's just claiming, or he's saying that his internet was lagging, which we could see on the scoreboard there. I think he also knows, like we do, that Kv1 did just outplay him there. He caught him off the goal line looking for small boost pads with a perfectly timed top corner shot. Kv1 shuts the door on the near post opportunity. Mawkzy looking to fight for the mid boost there unsuccessfully. And Kv1 has faked him out of the near post at the other end of the pitch. Well, what's happened here? Mawkzy thought Kv1 was going to 50-50 this. Kv1 was just blocking. So I think that's an unintentional fake there by Kv1. He probably expected Mawkzy to flip into the ball there. He was just positioning himself behind it to block a touch. But the mind game works just as well. 4-1. It really has been Kv1 who's looked the sharper today. Mawkzy pulls one back, but he's going to need to be so consistent to come back against Kv1 today. Well fought there. Mawkzy steals away Kv1's boost, trips him up on the exit. He opts to turn early, had the chance to go for the mid boost there. That's what he's going for now, but it's Kv1 who takes it away from him. Mawkzy trying to keep the attack going and now even steals away the back corner boost. Look at how difficult Kv1 is to bump though. Mawkzy sneaking up behind him, or so he thought. Kv1 saw him coming, dodges the demo even though he was somewhat blind in that position. Mawkzy Giving Kv1 a taste of his own medicine here, turning early in attack, just cutting repeatedly, keeping the pressure up, trying to threaten as many different shots in quick succession as he can. Kv1 equal to Mawkzy's flick on that occasion. One of Mawkzy's slower ones, although placed well. Oh, that's a very creative bump though. Mawkzy avoids saving his own shot. Jesse, take notes. This was, for a moment, straight out the Dutchman's playbook. Slow pop on target and then landing right in front of your own shot. The Mawkzy just lets it go right past him. Very difficult to spot that bump coming. Kv1 is unable to identify it till it's too late. Jesse thrown under the bus. What do you mean, Jesse? If Jesse saw that, then he'd probably be like, oh, that's what I've been doing wrong. Also, yeah, in other news, when's the next Jesse stream? We need more Jesse streams. That was a golden age of Rocket League streaming, when every day you could go live and you could go live. You could go to the Rocket League section on Twitch, and you could see Jesse streaming for around about 28 minutes daily before he rage quits after losing 3 games in a row. Those were the days. Those were the days. I'll give you one too quick. 6-3. Mawkzy forced to take risks late in the game. He had the boost, but again, Kv1 just turns and goes straight for the net. There have been many great 1v1 players over the years who have utilized this style to great success. Fairy Peak, in my opinion, all-time greatest ones player, dominated the game for years by just consistently putting up more shots than his opponent every single game. Khaled, similar style when he burst onto the scene. Now look at Kv1 still, although it's a completely different meta in terms of mechanics, showing that pressure is everything in 1v1. Just a massive amount of shots every time he plays. 13 shots on Mawkzy. Going with pretty much the confirmation there with the air dribble demo, and now the missed kickoff for Mawkzy. That's got to be GG's. I think he's just messed this one up. Yeah, he did. He just beamed it on the landing. Kv1 is just too good. He has Mawkzy's number. Mawkzy looks like he's going to get one back here. Kv1 giving him an outside chance to get the comeback by gifting him a goal, but realistically it's just not going to happen. I mean, how are you going to score 4 goals against Kv1 in 21 seconds? Mawkzy does thank him for the gesture regardless. But what an impressive showing. Kv1 is the real deal still. He always does impress whenever he pops up at a LAN, plays some show matches while he's there. He's a threat to anyone, and he's just taken down a top 3 French ones player. In my opinion, the number 2 French ones player at the moment after Zen, and definitely someone who's in the top 5 for most people at the moment. GG's. Kv1 3, Mawkzy 1. Since I know someone's going to ask who's the top 5 right now, yeah, I would say it's pretty clear. Ruas number 1, Zen number 2, and then I think it's probably Daniel number 3, and then number 4, I would say Mawkzy personally, number 4, because his activity is just a little bit better than the other players in the conversation, Yan and TRK. So I'd probably say Mawkzy number 4. But if Kv1 can put up some more results like this, if he can have good showings against other top 10 players, then we're definitely going to need to get him back in the top 10. It's just one series today, so I'm not going to jump the gun on putting Kv1 straight back into my personal top 10, but that was impressive. He looks like he's in great form. Great games. Appreciate him taking some time out of his very busy practice schedule. He played a scrim before this, and I think he's going to be playing a scrim right after this in preparation for the Winter Major. Really looking forward to seeing him and his team play Team Secret. making a top 4 at the Fall Major. If they can repeat that, that would be unbelievable to witness. So good luck to them.